Welcome to NeoRoyal, House of Pricey Cardboard. On this somewhat unique episode, I am not included in the match. The game is coming from our good buddy Fitz and is streamed the Arena of the Ancients, with its brand new logo from Sakashima. Katie was playing on stream alongside Beth and Quinn. You can find Beth at Queen of Cardboard on Twitter and Twitch, streaming EDH gameplay. As for Quinn, they are producing music that you can find on SoundCloud. We have the deck presentation from the stream, so I will let everyone describe their brews.
I am playing Rick, Steadfast leader. He's a human, and he does human things. And the whole point of this deck, basically, I will gain a ridiculous amount of life, and then my humans will turn right and march across the battlefield to end all zombies.
And I guess we're the zombies in this situation.
I mean, you all are playing black.
Yeah, I am in the club here with Glacian, Powerstone Engineer, and Ravos Soultender. This is the deck that I call Twisted Metal, but like Geiger, not like car violence. So I have a bunch of things like Worm Coil Engine, and Mirror Battlesphere, and the Black Gear Hulk. And I use Glacian to dump a bunch of things into the graveyard and then animate dead, reanimate, bring them back, and then turn them sideways.
Here I am today playing my Sakashima, Tormod, and Gyruda companion deck. It's a mill list filled with a bunch of clones and trying to empty your libraries.
Gonna play my Doran decks. They're mixed a lot. Lots of the fattest asses of magic in this deck. And I am also gonna turn things sideways.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love that. Combat is so good.
Quickly before we begin, we now have exclusive gameplays episode on Patreon. If this is something you would enjoy, check out our Patreon page. Beth gets to start this off, and land drops a Plains. She casts a Shadow Spear. Kelly land drops an Ancient Tomb, using it to cast a Fellwar Stone. Quinn land drops a Sunken Hollow, while Fitz land drops a Command Tower. Beth land drops a Plains. She casts Tomic, Distinguished Advocist. Kelly land drops an Underground River and casts Lightning Greaves. She then casts Sign in Blood, drawing 2 cards.
Wow, Kelly, you're not even gonna wait for us to attack you, eh? You're just like, oh, I'll start with 10 less life.
Oh yeah.
Quinn land drops a Swamp. Faye casts a Leaden Mirror. Fitz land drops a Swamp as well and casts his own Sign in Blood.
I'm just gonna discard a Doomweaver at the end of turn.
Something tells me that that's advantageous for you.
Yeah, I'll never get that back.
Okay.
I believe that.
I have no reanimation in my deck, said no abs and mage ever.
Beth land drops a Plains. She casts Herald's Horn, naming Human. Heading into combat, Tomic goes to Quinn. Kelly land drops a Reliquary Tower. She pays 3 mana to put Gyruda to hand. She then casts a Mind Crank and pass. Quinn land drops a Marsh Flats. Faye cracks it for a tapped Hallowed Fountain before passing. Fitz land drops a Llanowar Waste. He then casts Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and without another land in hand, passes. Beth starts by casting her commander, Rick, Steadfast leader.
Carl, am I going insane or this thick-ass tree folk is charging us?
As Rick enters the battlefield, she picks Vigilance and Lifelink. She then goes to combat, sending Tomic to Kelly this time. Kelly then drops an island. She then casts her companion, Gyruda, Doom of Deaths.
Some say a beast lives in those waters. You see, it's called the Demon Kraken!
On ETB, each player mills 4. She grabs her Consecrated Sphinx. She then equips the Sphinx with some Greaves before passing.
Gosh, all of the spells in my hand are just such aggressively fair magic. I'm just like, this is apparently not gonna cut it.
Quinn and Kelly draw. Faye land drops a Swamp and then casts a Mirror Turbine. Fitz untaps and casts Animate Dead, reanimating Stun Double from Kelly's graveyard. It enters as a second Consecrated Sphinx. Beth reveals Talia, Guardian of Thraben, to her Herald's Horn, Then 3 out of 4 players draw for turn. Kelly does not draw out of her Sphinx triggers from Fitz's draw. Beth casts Talia, followed by Enware Militia Captain. She then equips the Shadow Spear on Rick. Now that she controls 4 humans, they all get +2/+2. Going to combat, Rick deals 6 damage to Kelly.
I gotta lay off the ancient tomb now. Getting dangerous.
Kelly then drops Nikto's Shrine to Nyx. She casts one of her partners, Sakashima of 1,000 Faces.
Now you see me?
Now you don't.
Milling everyone for 4 again, she gets the only legal target, Sharding Sphinx.
Yeah, I think I'll lay off the sauce for now and try to write Sharding Sphinx like a decent human being, not a child, and pass my turn.
At the end step, Quinn creates a mirror. Phelan drops a Prairie Stream, using it to cast Noxious Gearhawk. On ETB, the Sakashima copy gets destroyed. Sakashima goes to the graveyard.
We would go to combat from here, but 1/1s are not going to cut it without a glorious anthem or 3, so we can go ahead and pass the turn.
Fitz then drops Isolated Chapel and Exotic Orchard. He then tries to cast Fel the Mighty, but Talia says hold up a minute. Instead, he plays Golgari's Signet, followed by Brina the Demagogue. At Beth's upkeep, the Militia Captain flips into Westvale Cult Leader. She then land drops a Plains and casts Elite Scale Guard, putting 2 counters on Talia with Bolster. She heads into combat, sending Rick, the Cult Leader, and Talia to Kelly, while Tomik goes to Quinn. On attack, Brina triggers once. Kelly draws for turn. She casts Dread Return, reanimating Sakashima. They all mill 4 and Kelly grabs Dreadhound from the depths. On ETB, Kelly mills 3, including 1 creature. So the interesting about Mindcrank and an effect like Dreadhound is that it just keeps on going until everybody mills no creatures. However, our party of heroes manages to flip only 1 additional creature. After that, Kelly casts Whelming Wave. For her combat step, Gyruda chips away at Beth. Sakashima gets the Greaves and Kelly passes. Quinn recasts the Leaden Mirror, followed by a Weir of Invention, putting Jewel Lotus on the battlefield. Fitz land drops a Bountiful Promenade. He recasts the Dryad and plays a Forest as his second land. He then casts 3 Visits, searching for a basic forest. He casts Selexness Signet, followed by Anguished Unmaking, exiling the Mindcrank.
Oh, I have too many cards. I am cheating.
Dirty, dirty cheater.
I'll discard God Eternal Oketra, which makes me big sad.
Me too, Fitz. Me too. Beth recasts most of her humans using the reduction from the horn.
Talia's back in play, so non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast.
Dang it.
Kelly then drops Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. She casts Stun Double, entering as a Sakashima Gyruda. She grabs Villis, Broker of Blood, from the depths.
9 black mana. Kelly, can you play like 1 bad card, please?
Apparently, no. The answer is no.
All good cards.
I need to switch this Diet Coke out for something a little stronger.
She casts Thran Dynamo, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Dominance, and a Strionic Resonator. She then goes to combat, sending Gyruda to Beth again. On third turn, Quinn recasts Noxious Gearhawk, and on ETB, Villis gets destroyed. Fitz land drops a Sunstep Citadel. He casts with Foot Boots and follows it up with his commander, Doran the Siege Tower. He recasts Brina and equips the boots on the Demagogue, attacking Kelly with it. Beth plays a Plains for turn. She recasts Tomik and then casts Taranika, a Crone veteran. Heading into combat, Rick attacks Quinn.
Oh, Kelly, you've been the threat, I think, the entire time.
Yeah, well, it's here.
I just saw that.
Kelly then drops a Clearwater Pathway. She then casts a makeshift mannequin, returning Villis to board. She casts Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, using its +1 to mill herself and draw a card. She casts Tassa, Deep Dwelling, followed by Salem Simulacrum. At the end step, Tassa flickers Gyruda. All player mill and Kelly grabs a Spark Double. On this mill, she grabs Phantasmal Image, but this time the clone enters as a Noxious Gearhawk, destroying Rick. Quinn then drops a Razor-Tide Bridge. Faye then casts a Wormcoil Engine. Fitz then drops a Sunpetal Grove. He casts Fel the Mighty for real this time, to destroy everything with power greater than 3. He then casts Oran Frostfang.
And I'm gonna put the shoes on it, which makes no sense.
Going to combat, the Dryad attacks Beth, while Oran Frostfang, Brina and Doran go to Kelly. On attack, Fitz puts 2 counters on Brina. At her upkeep, Beth's captain flips into the cult leader again. She recasts Rick, naming the same keywords. She then heads into combat, sending the cult leader to Kelly, while Talia, Taranika and Tomik go to Fitz. Taranika turns Talia into a 4/4. This takes Kelly out of the game. At the end step, Beth and Quinn both create a 1/1 token. On third turn, Quinn casts a Mirror Matrix and pass. Fitz then drops a forest. He casts Dragonlord Dromoka. He then drops a Brushland as his second land and casts Angel of Destiny, and equips the boots onto it.
Beth has no flying creatures though.
I have one. Thank you very much. Right there.
That's right, Atomic. No.
Truly do not understand why he is flying.
I don't know either. He's like standing on a roof.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
One of you Vorthos heads in the chat. Let me know what's up with that.
Yeah, why can Atomic fly?
He then goes to combat, sending Brina and the Angel to Beth. On damage, Angel of Destiny causes Beth and Fitz to gain 7 life. On her turn, Beth casts Renounce the Guilds. Fitz sacrifices his commander.
No more butt stuff.
No more butt stuff.
The cult leader grabs the Shadow Spear and attacks Fitz for 8. At the end step, Quinn makes a mirror.
My kingdom for a single relevant card.
Phelan drops an Ancient Den, and then casts both of Fair partners, Glacian, Powerstone Engineer, and Ravos, Soultender. Oh Ravos, this is pod racing! Fitz recasts Doran. He then casts my boy, Shedrick's Silver Quill, and equips the boots onto it. Fitz then casts Leonor, Autumn Sovereign. At the beginning of combat, Shedrick's triggers. Quinn draws and Fitz puts a +1/+1 on each of his creatures. Leonor puts an additional 1 on Shedrick's and draws a card. Fitz then declares attackers, sending all the flyers to Beth. Both player gains 42 life. In second main, he then drops 2 lands and goes to end step, where the Angel terminates Beth and her humans. Quinn also makes another mirror. At the upkeep, Ravos returns the Noxious Gearhulk to Quinn's hand. Still before the draw, Faye taps the Matrix and Glacian to basically draw a card, and then draw for turn. Faye then drops a Vault of Whispers, followed by Noxious Gearhulk. The Angel is destroyed on ETB. Faye then casts Animate Dead, returning Mirror Battlesphere to board. Fitz then drops a Plains and a Godless Shrine. He casts Heavenly Blade Master, grabbing the boots on ETB. He follows it up with a Knight's Whispers. At the beginning of combat, Shedrick's puts more counters while Quinn draws a card. Leonor also triggers Coven once more. With his flying double striker, Fitz is able to close this game. Well played. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and thank you to Fitz for sending me this game to edit. Check out all the players with the links in the description. Take care, and we'll see you very soon.
Snow-covered swamp. And Vorpal Sword.
Oh shit!
Whoa, shit. Critical.
I'm in danger!
Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to go low. I don't want to die, you know? It's, okay.
Well, bend
Phage
over.
really pulled up and said, Fitz, hop in, we're lopping people's heads off.
That's the plan.
I'll pay 2 life to draw a card. I'm going to play a Swamp for turn. I got to cast Duskfang Mentor.
No, that's a good card. You're fine.
If there was a demon, that'd be great, but unfortunately it's only humans right now. But the other ability is put a +1 counter on each creature you control with lifelink, and Jiren can give humans lifelink. So there's something here. Specs over at Fitz for 3.
No blocks.
Yeah, I'll go to my end step and draw a card for Ludovic and pass the turn.
Draw. Heck. To cast an Arcane Sing It. It's not a land, but it's the next.